Good morning. It is 6 a.m. It's Friday. I'm Deirdre Fitzpatrick.
And I'm Teo Torres. Nice to be on a Friday.
Yeah, it is.
Looking forward to the weekend. Although the weather's been fantastic this week. Tamara, is it going to continue?
Yeah, we'll have another beautiful day in store for Northern California from start to finish. We do see some visual changes, though, and I'll get to that in just a moment. But right now, you're waking up, you're wondering, what's it like when I get outside? It's 59 right now in Sacramento, top of the 6 o'clock hour. If you're working on that second cup of coffee in Fairfield, 61 as you get the day started. 64 right now in Stockton, 67 for Modesto. We have mid to upper 60s across the foothills, including Placerville, and then all the way up the hill, you'll find lower to mid 40s from Truckee on into Tahoe. You can see visually, we do have some clouds that have gathered, especially over to the southern half of our viewing area. We will start to see more of these clouds kind of make for a landscape today that will include probably a beautiful sunrise coming up here in the next few minutes with that burst of color on the horizon. But we're also going to see those clouds kind of intermittently throughout the day ahead. In your valley planner, we'll be into the mid 60s right around the 9 o'clock time frame. Lunchtime temperature hits 78 degrees, and by 3 o'clock we're looking at daytime highs pushing into the upper 80s. We'll back down to the upper 80s around 6 o'clock in the evening. By 9 o'clock tonight, temperatures dropping off into the mid 70s. So again, a mix of sun and clouds out there. I want to say a special good morning to my brother and his team at Royal Electric. I know they're in town for a big meeting. Beautiful day, Chamber of Commerce like, if you ask me. We are going to see some changes, though, unfold throughout the weekend. I'll take you through those and walk down what we can expect coming up in just about a few minutes. 6:02 is the time. Brian, what are you watching for us on the roads?
We've got a little slowing here southbound I-5, Tamara. There's a sideways vehicle at J Street, and now just a little bit further up, also on the southbound side of I-5 at Garden Highway, there's a dump truck and a car that have collided there. So we are seeing a little slower than usual traffic on that southbound side of I-5 as you're making your way across the American River and into downtown Sacramento. So you saw there on the map, though, traffic is getting through, but it is a little bit slower than normal. That's why we see the red on the map. I-5 and 99 right now, no problems coming up out of Elk Grove. Highway 50 and Interstate 80 also incident-free as you make your way down into the downtown core, coming in on Cap City Freeway or 80 over the top. Continuing on Interstate 80, no issues from Vacaville all the way down into Fairfield and beyond on that stretch. Looking in on Stockton, one minor incident at I-5 and the Crosstown Freeway. No delays behind that, but beyond that, everything all moving at the speed limit. Interstate 80, 505 to 12 is a 14-minute ride between Vacaville and Fairfield. Tracy Triangle, a 13-minute ride on 205, 580 over the Altamont Pass at 25 minutes. Highway 50, Rancho Cordova to 99, still only 10 minutes. Interstate 80, Roseville to the Split at 9 minutes, and 5 and 99, an 11-minute ride out of Elk Grove. Enjoy your Friday ride.
All right. Thank you so much, Brian.
6:03 now. We go to the continuing coverage of the deadly wildfires in Hawaii, and some new questions are now being raised this morning when it comes to the state's emergency warning system.
Now, many residents in Maui now asking why it did not alert them to the fires. This as the death toll goes up to 55 now. We have drone footage showing what's left, and it's not much, of the town of Lahaina. It saw the most damage there. Officials have said records show there was no indication that the warning sirens were ever triggered. A governor says search and rescue operations continue this morning, and it is believed this will become the state's largest natural disaster since a 1961 tsunami killed 61 people on the Big Island.
And take a look at this. This is the area of Ma'alaia, and you can see the traffic is down to one lane in that area as people are waiting for the road to Lahaina to open. All access to Lahaina is still blocked off this morning, with Maui police citing just how unsafe the area is. They still have active firefighting going on, and of course the search and rescue. And as those people have tried to escape the island, or many have, there is more help on the way from some of the country's largest airlines.
Let's go to KCRA 3's Melanie Wingo. She is live in Sacramento International Airport to break down those efforts. Good morning.
Good morning. Airlines saying that they are trying to lend a hand following the fires on Maui. Here at Sacramento International, we know that there is one Hawaiian Airlines flight scheduled to leave at 7:15 for Maui. It appears to be on time. We've seen a trickle of travelers going up to the counter throughout the time that we have been here this morning. And that flight, again, scheduled to leave SMF on time. But we're also learning about how airlines are trying to lend a hand and scramble to accommodate those needing to leave the island, and how they're also assisting essential travel to the area. Over the past 2 days, American, Southwest, Hawaiian, and Alaska Airlines all reporting that they've added service to help people leave. Some of those carriers even swapping out smaller aircraft for larger aircraft to accommodate more travelers needing to leave. Hawaiian Airlines saying it is working to help shuttle first responders, water, food, and essential supplies on its flights. And Southwest Airlines says it's adding service to Hawaii from the U.S. mainland and intra-island flights. United Airlines and Alaska Airlines reportedly even flying in aircraft empty to then pick up travelers on Maui and bring them back to the mainland. As for anyone who does have travel plans to go to the Hawaiian Islands, to Maui specifically, airline carriers all saying that they are going to be waiving fees associated with differences in cancellation policies that they have. Usually in effect, you have to pay a fee if you change your travel plans. They're going to be waiving those fees in light of the emergency situation happening on Maui. Reporting live at Sacramento International, Melanie Wingo, KCRA 3 News.
Melanie, thank you. Well, California boots are already on the ground in Hawaii to help assist in search and recovery. Specialized team members from 3 different departments, Oakland, Riverside, and one of Sacramento's own, were deployed yesterday. That alongside 11 members of Cal OES Urban Search and Rescue Task Forces. Now, one battalion chief from Sacramento City Fire Department left for Hawaii yesterday. While there, he will act as a liaison officer to the communities impacted by the fire, meeting with locals and helping get their information back to authorities.
To get a better understanding now of the response of the wildfires, we did talk to a senior policy advisor of the Western Fire Chiefs Association. He says the crews in Maui do not have fixed-wing aircraft to help with the firefight, and here's why it's difficult to get resources from the other islands.
They have plans for things like this to happen, but still the travel time of getting those resources now, between the islands, they may not be able to send additional fire trucks, but what they can do is send additional crews.
Roper added that the presidential disaster declaration will give access to military resources that could airlift trucks. However, that still takes time to get everything mobilized. That could add anywhere from 24 to 36 hours.
This all as loved ones make continued efforts to get into touch with family who may be there or affected by the fires. We spoke with this Rockland family. They have loved ones on the island. They say some of them were in the path of the flames. They've lost their homes and belongings. At least all the family members, though, are safe. But the devastation on the island they once called home is really hard to process.
You don't know what you're going home to, if you're going to even go to one home. Like everything, all your value, everything you ever had is gone. I mean, being alive is the #1 thing, but still yet you lost all your memories. Stuff that they say everything is replaceable, but not everything is replaceable.
Bo says the loved ones they've contacted, again, are safe. Families encouraging everyone who is able to please donate or volunteer to help people in Maui rebuild. And we continue to follow these fires throughout the morning, both on air and online. For the latest on the Maui wildfires, the efforts to contain the damage and the impacts on travel and the people there, go to the KCRA 3 mobile app.
We are getting some new information this morning about a shooting in Citrus Heights that sent one person to the hospital. Happened just before 9 o'clock last night in the parking lot of a shopping center just off of Sunrise Boulevard at Greenback Lane. Officers arrived and they did find a man with multiple gunshot wounds. He was transported to the hospital and he does stay there this morning. The shooting happened near a trade school. Police spent the night talking to students as they were leaving their night classes. At this point, there's no suspect information, but the police do confirm that they are interested in learning more about a white sedan seen by that scene.
Well, expect to see more California Highway Patrol officers out along the Yolo Causeway this morning. This as concern grows over the growing number of crashes along that section of roadway.
The CHP is reporting that the number of crashes has doubled in just the last 3 weeks. Let's go to KCRA 3's Erin Heff. She's live along 80 now, where a major construction project is contributing to the safety issues.
Good morning. That causeway is traveled 150,000 drivers every single day. We're not even a month into this construction project yet. And like you said, it's doubled the amount of collisions out here and someone even died. So let's talk about specifics with this construction project. Since the project began July 16th, CHP says 37 accidents have happened, which they explain is roughly double compared to what's typical during the same time period on the same stretch of road. CHP points to speed, unsafe lane changes, and not paying attention as the main causes of the wrecks, which they say are happening at all hours of the day. CHP now says with this spike in collisions, loss of life, and just yesterday another major injury wreck, they'll be doubling down on patrol.
The loss of life we take very seriously, and so we have officers that are going to increase patrol in that area to make sure that motorists are paying attention and driving responsibly in the construction zone.
And this is something that commuters will have to get very used to. This is a 4-year project and is slated to be complete in 2027. In Yolo County, Erin Heft, KCRA 3 News.
And that project should cost about $280 million.
Well, this morning, residents in Galt may notice more Elk Grove police vehicles around town. That is partly because, well, they're partnering with Galt Police to place more surveillance cameras around the city. Photo of what you can expect to see here and there. It is meant to deter and prevent crime after recent burglaries targeted businesses. They say the patrol cars are not occupied, but they do have those big cameras on top.